Yes. It looks like it's really happening. Looks like it really happened. We're live right now. So, I'm going to bring us over to the studio. Ah, beautiful. This is what happened as a result because we were trying to use the camera elsewhere. Are we going to be like that everywhere? Nope, looks like we have one camera today. Nice.
It's all my fault.
Oh, Lindoa.
Yes,
No.
I do blame you personally, but I think we're going to be okay. So we'll have to make do. That's all right. That's okay. We can do this. So, what are we going to do? We are going to continue with Dark Heresy. We have our 10th session today. We're in the present. Our crew is descending through tubes, pipes. You guys are here at the request of a to-be Inquisitor. Oh, that's my own voice. Stop that. Okay.
Such an ego.
Oh, I know. So, we're here at the request of a to-be Inquisitor. You guys were kind of running into some other weirdos along the way. What's going on with your captain?
He's being the Inquisitor's bitch baby.
Right now,
He also has a disinformation campaign being run against him.
Explain.
Baxter wanted he found some glitter, and he turned it into a cannon. And we were using it, well, Alana wasn't using it, she wasn't there yet, but their group was using it to disperse the rich people who desperately wanted to be all up in the Inquisitor's personal space. And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna disperse this crowd. So
Nobly.
Baxter used his glitter cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was it Fidus who had the grenade?
I wouldn't call it a grenade, but
It was like a
It was a
flashbang. as the
janky
crowd
I would
dispersed
call it a
everything.
grenade. It's a
Yeah,
big
and it was-
flashbang grenade.
It was having some problems, and he threw it, and it turned into napalm with the glitter cannon, and set a lot of people on fire. So, being quick thinkers, they said that it was because the captain had sent them out to disperse the crowd. And that has become the story that the captain sent them out to disperse the crowd with napalm.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Londoa? We're quick thinkers.
That's right.
yeah, I heard
Just
right.
doing the-
That's
the
damn
Emperor's
true.
work.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
Edel
today.
distantly slaps himself in the forehead.
Yeah, also the Inquisitor does not give any care
Yeah, he doesn't
or
care about
interest to the captain, who his family has been running the precinct for 1,000 years or whatever.
Centuries. Yeah. Yep.
That
He didn't
captain's
care.
Not having a good
He
day.
didn't care about that at all. He doesn't think rich people are that important or that fancy. He was extremely rich himself. Doesn't really matter about his backstory. Point is,
He is a rich people.
he's like a super duper rich people. But he's like, yeah, whatever. These are
Funneled
poor
it all in
rich
to
people.
make
Who cares?
his body weird.
Yeah, he's like, these are poor rich people. Come on. So anyway, hello Caldwell, how you doing? So what we have going on is a crew, and y'all are together, right? I believe for the most part you were, kind of separated, but you're not like, really, really far. And I believe it was, the lower group was Pilar, Lindoa, and I know we talked about it just a moment ago. Remind me.
That'd be me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so,
Yes.
all right.
Nigel,
so the three of
Lindoa,
you
and
guys, gotcha. Okay. And you guys had made a last-minute discovery that we didn't talk about in our pre-live session. Like right before we went live, we talked about something that we didn't talk about something that did come up. What was it you guys found right before the session ended? In fact, it was the last thing you did. Data pad.
Oh,
Oh yeah, and a furnace, right?
the data pad. It was like across a what looked to be like an exhaust tube or something like that. Or
Rating.
It was a little bit
Yeah.
further down the tube you were in. There was a mesh.
Yeah.
That seemed to be, or a grating.
Mhm.
It was there to effectively catch debris that was being moved through here, and it had
Right.
incendiary devices built into it to eliminate waste buildup. And that was probably the
Gotcha.
furnace you were talking about, Nigel. It's basically there to clear
because we saw
blockages.
fires, right?
Well, you saw. You guys rolled well enough on perception or tech that you recognized what they were, or you. I think maybe you. I don't remember exactly. I'm sorry. It's been 2 weeks, but I think it was either a tech check at that moment or it was a tech check when you were back at the console. Something to do with one of those. But the data pad. What did it say?
I just have something written down. It says they survived the flooding and the sublevel is dangerous.
Yeah, that's a So we found quite a few skeletons, bodies, bits of this and that mashed up against that grating, and they arms and limbs kind of poked through. It was a pretty dire situation. They didn't appear to be burned, not least from your initial searching, but
Right.
you did find a data
And the
pad
date
that
was
said,
from.
"What's that?"
I was just gonna say that the date of the last entry was like 600 years ago.
Yes.
But that's all I remember.
Yep, that's right. And these people had survived the initial flood. They were going to try and find a way out. And putting things together, they didn't find a way out. So here you are. You are in a tube. We have a lower crew and an upper crew, but you're not really separated by that much of a distance. If we end up jumping over to the monitor, see you guys there. So slick. You can see that the tubes you guys are in are really only separated by a distance like this. And you're in what is effectively the orange little tube here. It's not a big deal, but there is a distance between you, and it's about, I'd say, 100 feet. Not huge, but it's enough that you can't really understand each other if you're yelling down the tube. You do have voxes, so there's nothing to stop you from communicating, but you're gonna have some trouble if you're just trying to yell. Okay, so what is the plan? Let's start with the upper crew.
We were gonna go down, I believe, because we kind of
Yeah.
explored the tunnels a little bit, and there wasn't too much more that we thought we could really find, because they kind of just go on for a long time. So we were gonna meet up with the other crew at the bottom. Well, further down anyway.
Okay. So, that's not something I feel you're going to need to roll too much for. There are, remember, the kind of built-in handholds and footholds, toe holds really, into the side of this tube. So when you
I got
descend,
tired. It's so far down.
yeah, you can do so, but it's going to come at the cost of fatigue, and you're also going to be a little slower. So, let's just have you guys start doing that. Lower crew, what's going on?
I think we went further in because we knew we wouldn't have to take as much time to get back because we're not climbing down, but we're essentially waiting for the other group to join us before we continue to descend.
Okay, so you guys head out to the mouth of this tunnel you're in now?
hmm
Okay. Anyone have anything in particular in mind?
I'm just
taking
gonna
a good. Go ahead, Nigel.
Oh, I'm just gonna assume that we voiced our or information to the other team over our magical boxes.
Okay.
Oh
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, y'all already got the same info. Pedalsville and Arc beginning about how you can change the pressure and influence the piping and shit.
Ilana
one
will
more.
arrest you.
You can fucking try.
So you guys continue. You descend for probably another. I'm assuming you all meet up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We are able to kind of catch up, hydrate, whatever, and descend. But our crew that just came down quite a bit is going to be a little bit slower and need to take a break for a reason if we don't establish that there's a longer rest being taken there. Would
If
you
they
guys
need
like
to
to
rest,
continue
then
push ahead now? So rest first?
yeah. Let's. If they need to rest, then we can definitely rest.
Yeah.
Or let them rest. You know.
Okay.
Ilana needs to take a bit of a rest. Her toughness is only 30.
Is there anything in particular
She's
you
built
guys
for
want to do?
cardio.
I feel as Fidus would kind of be doing a little bit of scouting ahead, not too far from the group, but definitely some scans with the newly acquired thermal visor,
All right.
and as stealthily as
Oh, yeah.
possible.
Okay.
If you can.
So let's have you, and you're descending, correct?
Fidus would have already been at the bottom and was waiting for them.
That's right, but are you going to descend further on your own?
Oh, okay. I thought we were at like another impasse. Okay.
No. They were just joining us where we were.
Okay. Yeah, I think he would continue going just a little bit further.
Okay.
Just to scout.
Probably another 50 or so
Scouting.
feet.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Question.
what's that?
I have climb plus 10. Does that affect my fatigue or anything
It
like that
does.
as me climb?
Absolutely it does. Yes, that is going to help in a huge way. In fact, it's probably going to have... Yeah, but it also affects you uniquely. So if somebody's in need of somebody to run something up, pardon me, or down, you're definitely going to be the guy. So I would say definitely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
but Lindo, you
Guys,
said
you
you probably
seem
down
to be-
about 50 feet.
Yeah, I think before he would go down, kind of knowing that as in the middle of it, noticing Gaius being just totally fine, be like, guys, you wanna scout ahead a little bit? I think we could. I got these shiny new gadget on my face, and if you want to have my back, we can scout a little bit while they take a break.
I'm down.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so the two of you move, and you said you wanted to do so stealthily. Can I both have you roll your stealth check?
That's an actual skill?
That's an agility. And you add your stealth bonus
yeah.
to it, or subtract if you aren't trained in stealth.
Ooh.
Silent move, technically, right?
Oh, 3.
Okay. 39 with an agility of 50.
So you guys were quite successful in sneaking up on this empty tube. And it is
yeah.
empty. You can see it's also much more shallow than the rest. You can see here that as you leave at your next juncture, the same grating appears to be around the tube's circumference, the inner circumference of the tube. There is a kind of like a standing grate, and it allows you to relinquish your hold on the little divots, and you can move into, instead of something moving in the cardinal directions, you see this almost seems like a poke hole. Machines that were used to bore through they didn't care too much about this because you're in a pipe, remember, you're not seeing the full cavern, but you're seeing that the tube here is much, much, much smaller, and it ends very quickly. It doesn't have the same kind of extending beyond the sight that the first two segments of tubing have. This is something that cuts off pretty quickly.
This might be good to relay.
Yep.
Okay.
Seeing as though we can't really progress much further, yeah, let's
So you guys communicate that?
yeah, we communicate it back
Yeah.
And we have
via
a...
radio.
All right. So everybody's resting up. I think we can say it's probably been enough time for the group to have caught their breath and should be quite capable of descending down together. Does the group that's currently a little further up the pipe have anything they want to do before they take off?
I just want to roll a perception check.
Okay.
69.
Nice.
Nice.
Are there any like pebbles or rocks around? Sure, I can roll perception for that.
Are there any pebbles or rocks around in this tube? Not
Yes.
really. There are kind of chunks of mud that appear to have hardened a long time ago, and they're kind of becoming dust. If you
Okay.
kick around long enough, you will find a rock. You'll find a stone of some sort.
I just want something sort of like firm to like kind of toss over the edge and see.
Oh, you'll definitely find one. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to do that and sort of see what happens once I throw something down over the edge.
Okay. Over the edge into the main.
Into the abyss of the tube that we are
Gotcha.
climbing into.
Gotcha.
Full of
So
a
there's this
took.
Central empty tube. Alrighty. So, you want to do that right now?
Sure, yes.
You don't even need to roll a check for that. That's going to be pretty straightforward. You're dropping a rock.
Yeah.
I believe you can do it. The thing that I would like to know, though, is what your... Let's roll perception specifically on hearing.
Excellent. Because I now have heightened senses of hearing. But it's 38. I've rolled a 38.
Going 38. Okay. So, with a 38, you are able to see the rock disappear out of sight and then hear nothing. Not a thing. You can listen for a while and your ears start to kind of play tricks on you and you're like, did I hear it? Did you guys hear it? I don't hear anything. And you don't.
Fair enough.
That's kind of that. The rest of the group, in fact, all of you can roll if you really want to. It's going to be a pretty difficult roll.
28.
28. What's your perception?
Ooh.
35.
35.
6.
6.
6.
That's
Yep.
better than
6?
73.
6.
That's
Yep.
better than
6?
73.
2.
6.
Oh,
5.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Well.
53.
53. Okay. Well, what that's going to do for you, our 5 and our 6, we're able to hear the echo of the rock falling. And it's not close. In fact, judging from your incredible interpretation of the echo, it could be several hundred more meters, potentially over a kilometer more.
It's a long way down.
Yeah, it's pretty far away. We might have some distance to travel yet, guys.
Well, were you guys going to descend? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yes.
Yes.
indeed.
Okay, well, let's do that. You guys head down, and barring any crazy unforeseen troubles, which we're not really even going to worry about too much, I think that you guys catch up and you can move down together without too much hassle. It wasn't the same distance you had the first time.
Cool.
So you guys proceed down through the tubes. Let's have you... And you're all meeting here. Did you guys, our group up top, did you guys want to do anything with this branch, this short branch of the tube?
I don't think so.
Nah.
All right. Well, then you descend. You continue going, and you notice that as you continue down, it's a little less. I would say there's a little less traction on the handholds. They've been worn a little bit more. The mud that you saw that was kind of caked onto everything up further on the pipe, it's caked there. But this seems to have seen more action. And this is a pattern that you're all picking up on as you descend. You're able to notice that it's a little more difficult to continue, but you're not having any real trouble yet. You are able to continue down, and the next branch that you get at, you have an offshoot of a very, very large pipe. It's about 3 meters tall. It's actually the largest of the offshoots of pipe you've seen so far from the empty piping you've been in. Similar situation to last time, and the group that's descended the furthest is running low on strength and fatigue.
Should we rest up before we?
This looks like an explorable pipe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so big.
Absolutely, it is.
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
No, boo, bad.
Alana's ready for a rest and to
yeah,
maybe
we can
explore
rest.
this pipe since it's larger than the other ones.
Petal's ready to explore some pipe.
We love pipe.
Love pipe.
Jolly good. So, you
So are
guys,
we the pipers now?
the pipettes,
Or the pipettes or the pipers? Is that going to be our team name?
so good. So, sorry, I'm
Better
just
than
reminded of a
nothing.
terrible, terrible joke that I can't tell on live stream. So, it's actually the same joke that I've threatened on stream. It has to do with pipes. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Can't tell it. Yikes. So, you continue. You have this lovely, lovely, enormous pipe. You guys are welcome to walk, and this one only moves in one direction. Just a reminder, the 2 initial branches that you experienced, they had branches in each of the cardinal directions. You descended and you saw that pattern continued. Branches in each of the cardinal directions. The little poke hole that you saw here, not the same. Oof. Pick one. Look, Coral Keith, it starts with 2 necrophilic pedophile clowns are on a riverbank. That's how the joke starts. I can't tell the joke, man. I can't.
Huh?
But
What?
the sorry, somebody in chat was saying you're playing Dark Heresy. You can't tell a dark joke, but yeah, it's true. Has to do with tubes. So we're gonna go over here, and what we're doing is the this very, very large, I would say, branch of the tube you're in branches in one direction, like the band. You guys are going to head in that direction. Is that what I'm to understand? You're standing on the grating right now in the central core.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, you get to this door. And I do say door because it appears to have been sealed. It's a large, large tube, but some kind of a bulkhead has been secured. Let's have you all roll perception.
Nothing says you want people in here like putting a big old door up.
31.
33.
33.
70.
Ooh, yeah.
45.
21.
45. Is it 21?
15.
21, yeah. And a 15.
15. Okay. So, you with your special eyes, you are going to be able to see, and this is going to be for Fidus, you're going to be able to see that the mud that's caked everything appears to have had a field day. As whatever mud was being pumped passed by, this little area without anything leaving the tube you're in act kind of just as a catch-all for all kinds of fun stuff, including just an ass load of mud. You see here, with your special eyes, that in the back, right to the side of where the very, very large bulkhead has sealed off, you're continuing down the passage, and we're talking 2 meters in. You're much, much closer to the edge than I think I conveyed properly. This thing is sealed almost directly at the front. You're here, but you can see with your thermal readings that there appears to be imaging of something that looks like some kind of technical interface. You can see that there are ports, you can see that there's a screen that's been slowly baking itself under mud for a long time. It's getting that spa treatment. And you can also see, very, 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 very faintly, you can see the presence of the hot water pipe just beyond the pipe you're in. So, again, just a reminder, you're in one of 3 very large tubes. It seems to run for a long, long ways. You are seeing the heat being thrown off of what is effectively the hot water going up into the hive. So, are you ready to go?
Yeah, basically convey that to the group. Doesn't seem like there's any sort of signs of movement or life of any kind down here, but Petal, you might have something that you could do your do's and what's-its with. See some sort of panel down here if we want to get you down here and looking at that.
Petal just rolls up his sleeves and starts digging through mud.
Attaboy.
All right. Well, you're going to
Ilana's
find
taking notes while Fidus says that.
You're taking notes?
Yeah.
In what?
He was telling us about the hot water pipe being there, and so she's writing all of that down and like making sketches as best she can.
Okay.
And then we have the door in front of us, right?
That's right. It's a huge bulkhead.
Okay.
As I
And that
understood it, the
doesn't have
bulkhead's
anything
kicked
to
in
do
mud,
with the
right?
pipe. We just see that.
Correct. Yeah, you can see it here, and there is a faint glow of a red light above, but it's 3 meters tall, and there's a lot of mud caked on this thing. It's just barely throwing off heat. It's throwing off less heat than the terminal, and it's also just barely visible. It's really, if it were perfectly cleaned, you might be able to see your hand in front of your face without squinting, but it's getting pretty dark. You guys have lights on. I think we're working under that assumption. I hope I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I'm not overstretching, but that was my assumption I was working on. Because we talked about it last
Boy,
time.
howdy.
Yeah.
I just love digging around in the dark.
So good. And speaking of digging
There are
around,
flashlights on.
you do find a terminal. And the terminal you find will allow you to jack in after, giving it the N64 treatment. You got to pull the cartridge out, blow it on it a couple times, slam it back in, and reset. But you should be okay. Do you want to interact with this terminal?
Is there a big old open door button on this terminal? Just for me?
Is there an open door button on the terminal? Let's get a tech check.
Yes. Oh my god. Please, Petal, succeed. I'm throwing away these dice. That's a great roll, but that is not in line with character reasons. That's fine. It's a 3.
A 3?
It's a 3.
So you rolled, okay, I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. You said, hey, is there a big open button door? And then you said, I'm going to find it. You said 3, and there is, and you found it. You quickly go in, and it seems to be the most apparent thing in the goddamn world for you. In fact, it's damn near jumping off of the screen. It has a giant...
Petal just
It has a
Petal
giant
just stares at it.
pulsating red backlight to it and it says open, not advised. And you're like, hey, look, it says open. And so you open, and then of course you can read the rest of the report if you like. But what happens is grinding of unoiled gears, pieces that haven't moved in a long time, pieces that weren't really meant to be moved. This, upon further inspection, if we were to have cleared the door, would have also revealed that the wrenching is caused by strain that wasn't meant for these doors, because it was in part sealed. Someone had used some kind of improvised welding device to try and keep the doors from opening. We do see, though, that the greater machinations behind the Hive City are going to prevail very slowly and with what sounds like erroneous, undue effort on these poor pieces of metal. Omnissiah be praised. They are successful, though, and with it comes out, and we need everybody to roll a toughness check.
Oh no, it's mud. Oh, 27.
A 3!
A 3! Oh, okay.
72.
50.
I'm little
50?
and I'm jacked.
23.
23?
7.
7!
Damn.
If you rolled under 10, you steel souls you stare square-eyed into the billowing plumes of thick, poisonous smoke, which erupt just almost as if, held in for a long time. Barely feeding on what oxygen was able to sneak in through other access. And you feel a whoosh, almost taking the air out of each one of your lungs, as fresh new air is ripped from the opening that you're standing in and pours in to feed what becomes an enormous fire. The fire is so hot.
Vitus is just yelling, close it.
Oh yeah. Well, what you can see is that the fire appears to be coming from everywhere inside. The thick smoke is now filling up not just the tube you're in, but rising up, billowing in thick rolling clouds over the edge of the tube entrance, moving
I
up to
didn't
the
bring a
top.
fire extinguisher.
Nope.
And also it's a 9-meter, diameter tube that's completely filling with smoke. So, good luck.
Look, Alana rolled a 27 because she already had her rebreather on. She was like, I don't know when we're going to encounter water, and I need to be prepared.
Very well. The rest of you were
Hey.
kind of doubled over coughing immediately. And the heat is also staggering. You're going to have a lot of trouble staring into that abyss, let alone working on it. So, what's the move here, guys?
Well, Vitus
Close it?
takes the thermal,
Can we
takes
close
the
it?
thermal
Yeah.
goggles off, to say the least.
Forgive me, I had hoped you had.
Yeah, no. The first thing is, as soon as that happened, it's like, my fucking eyes! Shit!
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna.
Just gonna...
I said to go look at it, not. Oh shit!
I mean, look, I guess my finger slipped. I wanted to see if the button was there.
Are you digging any further into the terminal?
Yes, let me shut the fucking door, I guess.
Okay. Let's get another tech check.
There's the bad rolls. It's an 89.
Well, you do.
all right.
You move to shut the door, and one of the doors does respond, and that's great. And it goes to the midway point, shudders, and as you can hear, kind of a fevered last effort from the mechanisms behind the door on the right. It shudders. You can hear some kind of a pop. It's cacophonous in the tube you're in, but the sound of air whooshing past you is actually somehow just a little louder still. You see your screen dim, kind of flicker and then resume its normal brightness, but that door on the right is stuck where it's at. Door on the left, fully closed. But there's still like a 2-meter gap.
That fire calmed down at all?
Nope.
Is it coming out, or is it just having a party behind the door?
It's just there.
It's just there. It's just burning. Are you doing any more terminal work?
Yeah, why not? Let's stick around.
Maybe Alana
this-
can help you.
Is this the same as the previous terminal upstairs that
4!
showed like the
4.
Or
Okay. So, Roland, please.
I was just gonna say, is this similar to the previous terminal that showed like the pressure gauges and the pipe controls, or is this something new and funky?
Well, this is a little bit different. It does have very, very mundane things like lighting control. It has power control. It has all different kinds of fun little boring stuff. Stuff that you've seen before, including the pressure readings that you saw on the other things. Cool. But it seems as though, and there are dates that don't seem to be registering any longer. You can see date fields that So you can see date fields that seem to have not been meant to keep rolling over. They basically experienced Y2K over 10,000 years somewhere. And so they're like, I don't know what this is. So you can't really see what the dates are, but you can see that there's a progression. They seem to be different entries. And one of the entries that you're able to find with your roll is that one of the methods that was used on this door, and they were worried about it, so they did install the bulkhead, was going to include the use of a very, very high, it was going to be a very, very, basically they were going to use a laser. They were going to try and use a laser to dig faster, because the hope was that if they could just get through the rock quickly, then you can excavate the coal or otherwise organic flammable deposits manually. So laser first, then manual extraction. It appears though that trace elements of the organic matter were in the rock, ignited, and began to burn in a way that they couldn't put out. And any estimate on suppressing the fire did not seem cost effective, resource effective, or time effective. It seemed like it was just going to keep going for potentially centuries. So
we'll just leave it.
they shut a bulkhead
Wow.
and continued to the next deposit.
yeah, there ain't nothing back there.
And so they also they made it mandatory that going forward, bulkheads were to be installed at any major excavation.
Even if the excavations aren't flammable materials, just period.
Here in this tube, anyway.
Okay, because like the offshoots could have that same flammable material.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, you are in a tube. You're not even in like the full cave. This is a pipe.
Okay, so this is like ground zero pipe. So this was the one they put the first bulkhead on, and we're like, fuck that.
Yes. This is for
Okay.
basically pumping.
So they probably don't have sprinklers set up in there.
No.
Okay. Can I use my 4 to try to help Petal close the other door?
Yeah. And between the two of you, in about an hour's time, you are successful. However, I would like you both to roll toughness, please.
Come on,
Oops,
dice.
My toughness is trash.
80.
80?
36. What is my
Nice.
toughness? A 40. So that's
Okay.
1 degree of success.
So you're both going to tire more quickly for a full day. And Sarah, you suffer 1 wound.
Okay, that's fair.
And the rest of you, with this billowing cloud of smoke, while they're working on the terminal, is there anything you wanted to do in the meantime?
Investigate further.
You guys gonna keep going down?
While I get that checked out, guys, you want to come with me and we can scout ahead a little bit more? Because
Yeah.
this seems to be the shittiest place to be right now.
Don't go in there.
The door's open.
Alana's kind of like waving her hand. She's like, go back. Go back.
Mm-hmm.
Further down, I think.
Mhm.
Come on, guys. Fuck these guys. Let's go.
Getting a little wheezy. Further back.
It'll clear out. It's fine. It's fine.
What are your lungs made of?
Meat?
Truly blessed.
All right, so you guys head out.
The rebreather's not helping.
And you guys continue down, and this crew here isn't going to be afflicted like the others are because they're working feverishly to close everything up, but they're enduring some pretty harsh conditions to do so. So, our group that's descending, the four of you, you do descend and you find that the handholds, predictably, in accordance with what you've seen so far, appear to be less and less available. Now, it's not a problem yet, but it's a pattern you're picking up on. You're also noticing... Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you tell me what you notice? You're still climbing. Go ahead and hit me with a perception check, the four of you, please.
69.
17. Perception's been on point tonight.
83.
Hell yeah.
Feedback?
Okay. I
Oh.
felt like, yeah.
3.
3.
Sorry.
0, 3.
0, 3.
Oh
my
my
perception.
God, that's our
Continue.
Is I mean that's nice.
We've had a lot of threes today.
That's nice.
Bless this session.
This is good. Yeah. Emperor, please shine upon us. Okay. So you have in your infinite, just complete sensory, just perfection, you can tell almost from your toes to your head, Debek, a temperature change. And it's not based on the fire, it doesn't seem. You notice, Lindoa notices as well, but not to the pristine amount that a 3 would notice, that it's getting a little warmer, which is kind of fun because you just left a heat blaze, and normally it's like when you leave a bonfire, you kind of get a little cold. You're like, oh, I'll adjust, but boy, that fire was nice. No, actually, you don't experience that at all. The air's kind of warmer. Almost pleasant. Almost. It's nearly pleasant. Think mid-60s. Fahrenheit.
Interesting.
So, okay. You're continuing down. You move down.
If Fidus looks straight down with his when he puts his thermovisor back on, does it only goes 40 meters, I guess, but is it progressively warmer down as well?
Well, not in a way that the thermal goggles can tell.
Okay.
Not in a way that you can see down the tube, no.
Sure, okay.
Okay. So you're progressing, and you get to an intersection. You see a very, very large branch to your right, and you see another 9-meter tube to your left. So it's to the west. To the east, there is a tube that is a little bit higher up, but not much, about 2 meters. The other one is enormous. It is huge. Huge. So 2 meters, 9 meters. East and
Does it
west.
look similar to the 9 meters? Does it look similar to the bulkhead that Petal and Alana were closing?
It's a very similar looking tube, but there's no bulkhead closed. These each appear to be open.
Gotcha.
And so,
I think we should scout out the small one first.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
okay. So you guys head into the first of these. You are on the grating, the first little break you can make, and you take your first steps into this, and I'd like you guys to roll perception for me. Again, 2 meters, I think 6 feet.
I got a 12.
53.
16.
16, 53, and 12. Okay. So, now, who was it? Was it D-Beck who had the other pair of... I'm trying to remember here. Oh, no, forgive me. That was the past. Excuse me. I'm getting twisted.
Yeah.
No. So it's just Lindoa who has the infrared?
Yeah.
Okay. So, with your rolls, we're going to talk about general, and then we're going to come down to what Lindoa sees, because it's going to be the most precise. So, with the rolls here, you can see a pretty similar sight. You have a tube. It extends down for quite a ways. You can see a bulkhead, at least where it's ready and primed to be sealed. You can see a terminal, much in the same way you saw before. This time, though, everything's less caked in the mud because it isn't just stopped up, allowing filth to collect. Content of some kind came gushing out of this at some time, clearing a lot of that away. But you can see a similar setup. Terminal there. You can see that the tubing descends further down into the darkness. There are dots of red light shadowing small segments, or bathing small segments of the muddy tube in front of you about every 20 feet or so. I'd say about every 6 meters. And as you go further and further, as you look further in, you're just kind of seeing that maybe little pinpricks of light, but you're really not sure. It's very difficult to tell. However, Lindoa, are you going to be applying the use of your thermal vision?
Oh, but of course. Of course. Should I just roll a separate perception for this?
Yeah, please.
94.
Okay. Well, you can see the thermals for the terminal, and you can see the ever-present, almost parallel in each of the offshoots, heat radiating from the neighboring hot water tubing, but really not much else. You can see little, maybe faint glows coming off of the lights, but they're LEDs. They don't throw a lot of heat. It's not really of much information. You don't have a lot to go on here.
Well, I'm not seeing much, guys, but we should probably progress a little further, see if we can pick up any evidence of what's going on here. You guys still want to venture a little further into the small one?
Sure.
We can, or we can keep going. I don't want to go too far from Petal and Alana.
Yeah, they're taking their sweet time.
You can radio to us.
That's true. How you guys doing? Getting closer to closing the thingy?
Oh, we did that. We're just playing in the ashes right now.
Oh, good. Good.
Fun.
Well,
Enjoy
Whenever you're ready.
yourself.
You just kind of hear a strangled from Alana's box.
Petals
whenever you're
drawing
ready.
smiley faces and flowers.
I'm just making sure she's not gonna collapse.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, we've scouted out one sort of smallish tube area, but there's another larger one. Do you want us to wait for you to explore that one, or should we go on ahead and you guys can just catch up whenever you're ready?
We'll be down in a sec. Twiddle your thumbs. Think about your favorite thing to put in a toaster, I guess. It's not gonna take too long.
Bagels.
Solid choice.
What's
I
it?
I like how
poster?
hard they are on my teeth.
Petal and I are making our way back now that we've closed that one.
All right.
Cool.
And you guys, the choice is to wait or to continue.
Maybe let's
So we rest
maybe
up.
let's get to the entrance of the larger one, so that way they know where to meet us once they get sort of to the choice point.
Just want to make sure. Are you guys going to be going to the larger door? Is anybody going to be staying at the smaller door, or you guys go to the larger door?
I think we're all going to the larger door, right?
Yeah.
Or
Do the
unless
larger.
you guys want to do something else.
We can do the larger.
Larger door?
Cool.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, you guys basically hop back in the central descending tube, and you go to the larger door. It is, like I said, 9 meters. This is the biggest door you've seen. It's very large. And, it isn't closed, but you can see a proportionate sized bulkhead kind of waiting, and about 2 meters in to the lip of the offshoot. Let's just assume that everybody meets up here, unless there's some kind of special action we should take into account.
Don't
I
think
think
so.
so.
Okay. Well, this is again a tube. And for the first time that you've seen in a long time, we have that bulkhead, we have the similar terminals, we have the similar dots of red lighting. Continue down. Let's get some perception checks from you guys.
Perception.
31.
20.
49.
60.
18.
All right. So, what we
I got
have
16. Sorry, I was muted.
16. Okay. 16 and 18. Okay.
And 21.
So, and yours was 20?
I think Sarah's was 21 or 20.
Okay.
31, actually.
Okay, I thought
31.
It was
Oh,
30s, yeah. So our two best
I got
rolls
the
there.
20.
You guys 21?
I got a 20.
20, okay.
That's what it was. Somebody did.
Okay. So you're peering into this very, 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 very large tube. Remember, we do have a cold water tube, we have a hot water tube, and we have the empty tube. These pipes, again, run the width of the hive and
Welcome to
seemingly
the clan,
supplements.
warrior.
Welcome in. The empty tube you're in right now, so far, hasn't had a lot in the way of access points. There have been access points, but it hasn't really been of much interest or use. This, though, the grating that you're standing on, you can see that there actually appear to be grates midway up the actual pipe with small ladders on that you can actually ascend to and seemingly leave the tube you're in. That's something that is immediately apparent because it's not too much further. There are small terminals next to each of the doors, one on your left, one on your right. They're in the north and south orientation, if anybody's curious. They are at the same height, about halfway up, we'll say 4 meters, up the 9 meter diameter. And they have small little metal handholds that go up to the access points on the circular tube. Outside of that, just the red spots of light dotting what seems to be darkness. It keeps going out of sight.
Well,
That's kind of the move.
I
That's
suppose
what
we
we
should
see.
find out. Yeah, I suppose we should find out what those data pads say, if anything.
Kim?
And I'd like to shine my flashlight down the descending, one of the descending ladders that we saw.
You want to shine the light to what?
So you said that there were descending and ascending ladders?
Nope. You're in a tube,
Yeah.
and you have a door on each side of the tube. There are little handholds that lead up to each door.
Oh, okay. Well, then data pads, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so we have one in the
I
north, one in the
misunderstood.
south. Is there one in particular? Are you guys splitting up? What's the move?
I'll go to the southern data pad.
Okay.
I'll go to the northern, I guess.
Splitting seems to work out for Scooby-Doo and the gang. I like it. It's good.
I'm just gonna stare up at Pilar and ask, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?"
38. So we'll see what that gets me.
We have a 38. And this is going to get you the fact that it says passage cleared. And you can see that it's in the unlocked position. There is a pressure terminal that doesn't seem to be functioning. It might have experienced some kind of damage. You're not really sure, but it's not really working. You can't tell what kind of pressure you have here in the neighboring tubes, etc. But you can see the door's unlocked, and there doesn't appear to be any kind of block that you should be aware of. And other than that, it has an open and a shut.
Cool. I relay that to the team, and I tell them that I'm going to open it unless anybody has any objections.
That didn't go so well for us last time.
It went great. What are you talking about? Go, go, go.
I press open.
You press open. Now,
Ilana's drawing a little map.
okay. And then the other door, you guys had split up. Oh, you see the same thing. There's no special revelation. Is there something that you wanted to do? You do see that there is an actual active pressure control system here, and there's nothing abnormal or deviating in any way from what you've seen in the other terminals thus far.
So just to remind me, we're in a tube. These two offshoots. I'm on the smaller one, right?
You're on an equal-sized one, just on the other side of the tube. These are
Oh, I
just
thought there was like a
maintenance hatches.
3-meter door and a 9-meter door.
There were. Y'all
that was-
passed the 3-meter. It was a 2-meter, but yeah, you guys passed the 2-meter tunnel. That was on the way down to this one.
Gotcha.
The kind of scouting party took a look at it, and were like, and then went to the larger door.
Copy.
And
But
that's
same
good
thing,
fun.
but I do get active pressure controls down this way.
Yep, nothing unusual. It's what you've seen so far.
Pedal just goes,
Boring. Same stuff.
We should probably
Okay.
just investigate one direction.
yeah, I'm
Because
not going to
they're
open
such a
two
good
doors
band.
at the same time.
Yes. So I have opened a door.
So we're all going to the door that that Pilar's character is on, that, and you guys are heading there. You guys open the door, and it's not huge, I would say. Maybe a meter and a half tall. Not enormous. I would certainly have to duck. Roland, you're ducking as well, sorry, to get through. But the characters, I don't remember all of your heights, but you'll all get through. It's just a bit of a duck. But you do. And
Not for pedal. Oh, wait, meter and a half, 5 feet. Not
Yeah.
for pedal.
all right.
Nice.
Well, so you guys peer through? Do you walk through? What's the deal? Talk to me.
I shine my light down it.
Ah,
Yes, I ready my pistol and
really?
move in.
And blankly shoot around straight into the darkness.
Yes, exactly. I shoot at nothing and continue
Fire
after my
magic
bullet.
missile in darkness.
Okay. So,
If you guys want to hang back a second and kind of have my back, I can scout a little forward in because I can be pretty sneaky.
That's true, and you do have
Sounds
infrared
good.
goggles, so if you want to take a look.
Take advantage
At,
of this fancy doohickey. Which, by the way, did you guys notice this Inquisitor family mark? Do you know if this is the same one of this guy that we're working for right now?
that's who gave it to you.
Don't know.
Yeah, Pedal's armor set is covered. It has the symbol on it, right?
Yep.
His jacket.
Yep.
What does it look
Yeah.
like?
Tell me. I told you last time I
forget.
wasn't going to tell you.
I I'm gonna roll to look at it. I rolled a 93. Alana has no idea what it is.
Great
I'm
job.
gonna roll to look
So,
at it.
In fact, she might be a little suspicious about it.
what we want to do is have Lindoa go in. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sneakily.
Oh, hell
To
yeah.
scout.
Okay, so, again, you're going through the 1.5 meter opening. You're going through alone. You're going to be rolling for sneak and agility here. So, let me have it.
Two separate or?
That's the same thing.
$27.
Right. So, you are successful in sneaking. Let's see what you see. Can I get a perception check from you?
Yeah. Oof, I'm on it today. 16.
Is it 16?
16.
Okay. Well, what you have here is from your tube. Again, reminder, you're in a pumping tube. This is kind of a channel or slurry being excavated from lower segments of the hive, or sub-hive, I should say. The sub-levels where mining took place needed goo extraction, and this is the primary tube that goo left through. You have left the goo pipe, and you're now in what appears to be an actual place where mining happened. This is where you can see from the drag marks of enormous pieces of drilling machinery scored into the rock around you. You can see mining took place a long time ago. You can even see, with a roll like that, that in the very well lit room you're standing in, there are kind of patches of organic matter, coal maybe, you're not really sure, that appear to be lining the wall. Could be it wasn't worth pulling out every molecule of the matter, going instead for larger ore deposits. But this is not really your place. What you do see is that one of the center tracks, do appear to be two of them, for what appear to be some kind of a rail system, you're really not sure, appears to have been damaged a long time ago. So there's one rail in effect, the other one seems to have been crushed by some kind of debris falling, really not sure. Looking toward what is effectively the entrance of this drill site, you can see an even larger set of doors. Very similar to the bulkheads you saw in the drainage pipe. These doors, thicker, taller. The actual cavern you're in is enormous. It's huge. This isn't something you can even really gauge properly. It might be 20 meters larger than that, maybe 50 meters tall. There are buildings that could fit on their side in this cavern just from what you can see. But it is well lit, and it seems to go on out of sight in the other direction. And, well, what do you want to do?
And it's very quiet, no sort of sound, nothing moving in here, dripping.
Not where you are.
Okay.
You can hear distant movement, metal maybe.
Okay, I'd relay that via comm. Say it's safe for everybody to come. So that seems like a abandoned sort of mine shaft. We got some more doors in here, but it seems safe enough if you guys want to come in.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okie
guys. It seems safe. Get in here.
So you guys move in, I take it?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's get a perception check from everybody.
6.
On dice. 25.
49.
49.
32.
6.
62.
62. And D-Beck, what was yours?
6.
6. That's what I thought. Okay. You notice that under the rubble, there does seem to actually be one of the what appear to be quick transport lifts, probably for people to move from one side to the other very, very quickly. It's kind of like a light rail system, but way jankier. And this appears to be mostly covered in rubble. You're not really sure, but there seems to be some very, very, we'll say, primitive methods of excavation that seem to have taken place near this buried, we'll call it a transport. You are noticing with your special eyes that this is something that was not nearly as old as the score marks on the walls. This is something that somebody was trying to pull out much more recent than that. You can't tell exactly. But sometime much more recently than the time this cavern was dug, has tried to pull this cart out.
What's in the cart?
That's the question.
What's the move, y'all?
Can we see what's in the cart? Is there anything in the cart?
Oh, well, it's kind of just a flat transport. I'm saying cart just because I have in my head old-timey push
Gotcha.
trolley things.
I understand.
But no, it's really just more of a kind of a flat transport with basic walls and some very, very rudimentary seating. And then it has a control panel, but it's almost completely buried.
Oh, I see.
I have search and tracking. Can I try to use that to kind of dig around in the rubble for a little bit?
Yeah, give me a roll. And if anybody wants to help her, it'll amplify the roll. Also,
Oh, 27.
Yeah, I'll help.
As the first one in, Vitus is able to determine that the noise he heard, the metal is getting a little bit louder. You got 27? And the rubble is giving way. Or search is apparently much more keen. So many of the others
you wanna
who
help
seem
D-Beck?
to have.
Yes.
Alrighty. So yeah, you guys are making pretty good progress. You've damn near uncovered the control mechanism for this thing. It's something pretty mundane, but you're able to spot key areas where leveraging this or leveraging that, you can move some of the large pieces of rubble that were covering it. And over the course of how long do you want to spend doing this?
Can we use it if we get it free?
I don't know.
Okay, I'd like to free it enough to see if we're able to use it. I don't know if that would take maybe because like searching and stuff takes a certain amount of time. Maybe like half hour, 45 minutes if everybody else wants to like do some other stuff.
Sure, I'll assist you.
What the fuck is that noise?
Yeah, are you noticing that getting a little bit louder? I tell them to stop digging for just a minute before they move some of the big things that could potentially make a lot of noise, and I kind of get them to pause and be like, yeah, I thought that was just some machinery, but it seems to be growing a little bit louder.
Ilana immediately draws her weapon.
Yes, pistol does as well.
Okay. So you have the
Are there terminals in this room?
not that you can see, but some of the light from one of the terminals on this transport is peering through some of the rubble as you made advancements. But the advancements have stopped. You're not really sure if it's functioning. You can hear the distant metal noise getting a little bit louder, but again, nothing visible yet.
Can we tell the direction that the sound's
Deeper
coming from?
into the excavation site.
Okay, so the where the rails are heading.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm coming for that terminal.
So you're going to continue pulling things to the side?
I mean, everybody else has guns. Pedal doesn't. So, yeah, he's going to pull stuff.
Yeah.
Alright.
I've got a sniper rifle and a sword.
I am quite literally, I have no guns. I'm not
All right.
arranged.
So,
Shit.
moving. And your efforts over the next 15 minutes are successful. You free the terminal. Let's get a tech check from you, Pedal, and from D-Beck, and then from the rest of you, let's get a perception check.
11.
11.
27.
27. Okay, you guys kick the fuck out of that terminal. All right, rest of you guys.
Cool.
86.
86,
68.
68.
81.
Ooh, nice.
We're just really excited about that terminal.
And then for Vitus,
48.
48. So, you noticed that the metal noise, as it had been getting louder, actually came to a stop. Doesn't seem to be any more noise. It's just kind of stopped. It had been getting
We're not
louder,
the
it
only
was
ones
getting
down here.
closer, but it does seem to have stopped.
We're not the only ones down here, guys. I don't know that we should use this cart quite yet. It's nice that we have it at our disposal, but we might want to take this one by foot a little bit. But what do you guys think?
Yeah,
Do it.
Alana agrees. She wants to know what's on the data pad, but
The terminal?
she also has her gun out and like the little light in the cop stance that you use when you're clearing rooms.
Pedal
Very
is
nice.
just clicking through terminal. I don't have a gun. Boop, boop, boop.
It is a very well lit room, so there's not a lot of need for the lights, but it's something that
Okay.
you can see.
As
So-
far as the opening where the railway and the sound was coming from, is there some kind of cover that you can kind of put, like, get up against the wall for that opening, or is it just like a Is it just,
Unfortunately, no. Not a lot
opening
that
the
you
wall?
can
Okay.
see. There
any sort of cover in the room at all?
Not a lot. There's the rubble that's been excavated, and you aren't terribly far into this excavation site. You can see the bulkhead doors. Again, those are just a little bit closer to the mouth of this. There are those very, very large bulkheads that would absolutely make for cover. They're about 1 meter thick. It's unreal how fucking big these... it's unrealistic how big these are. But there they are. And so you do have a cover opportunity there. You can see up ahead. You want to give me one more perception check? We'll just see if we can put any polish on this.
All of us?
Sure.
78.
76.
7.
7.
4.
4.
Yes.
42.
42. Okay.
Got a
Well-
70. I'm too busy with terminal.
The keen among you can see that there isn't any debris. However, the fact that this debris has fallen means that this is a very, very big and doesn't seem to have a lot of support struts excavation. It's possible that, in fact, some of you can see very attractive points of interest. If cover were needed, the right pressure could be applied to the actual excavation site, the walls or the ceiling, or even the floor if you hit it right. And you could actually shake debris loose for cover. But you risk the integrity of this excavation site. That's one opportunity. You also see not much, but just within view, there does appear to be kind of a smoke. Not heavy, but a smoke that kind of keeps the air less than perfectly visible. And just on the inside of your vision, you can see crates. Large metal crates. But they're kind of stacked up to either side. You can't see a lot with those, but that could be, it's kind of hard to tell perspective. This tube, this big stone tube. You're not able to see too well. If you counted the lights, you could probably guess that it might be another 100 meters down. It's huge.
Okay, I'd like to advance.
So
Yes.
let's, before we do that, take care of the terminal. So the terminal, you were successful to say the least, you two. And you're seeing here that this is dolly number 2, labeled out of order, unknown reason, no file was submitted for maintenance. It was at date blah 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 blah. Can't really tell when. But it was kaput, and it labeled itself out of order and marked its location on a map. A map that you can see for this excavation. It's not elaborate, but you can see the rail system that descends very, very far. The first dolly, the first little tram system, I mentioned there were 2 rails, is in working order. At least it's not labeled out of order. And you can see that stop 1 is labeled up at the front. Much further down, about 150 meters, is stop 2. And then stop 3. And then a final stop, stop 4, at the end, with an automatic turnaround point. If it reaches stop 4, the cart seems to have a signal within to return to the front of the excavation site.
Would any of us know if there's, when the mining was being done, that there would be some sort of like automated system in place with these railway systems?
Do we have any representatives of the Mechanicum here?
Nope.
No.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
We're out of luck for that one.
How large is the opening for the railway path?
Well, it's just 2 rails. One rail
Right.
and then another rail. And it's, I'd say half a meter rail. And it has grips on it that, on this one bar, keep it upright and allow it to move very, very quickly.
Okay, so we could be in full standing position walking through like this cart path.
Well, you are, it's not really even a path, so to speak.
Mhm.
You've got a very, very, very large opening, and then running parallel down the center of it are these 2
Okay.
rails. They're wide enough that they won't
Okay.
hit each other, but they're probably 4 meters apart. The platforms, judging by the one that you've seen anyway, have rails, handrails on them, a terminal at the front, a terminal at the back, and basically just a bar to sit on if you need to. You could also use it as a handrail, a little lower than where the actual handrail.
Based
Basically-
on that map, how
Go ahead.
far away is stop 2?
Stop 2 is about 200 meters.
Okay, I just want to walk there.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I
have
was trying to
150?
eyeball about how if we were to walk it and a cart did come the direction that we were walking, if we would be run over or if there's like room
Oh,
on
there's
either side of the rails.
enormous
Plenty of
amounts
room. Okay,
Enormous amounts of room.
That's what I was trying
Oh,
to.
You could
What
run.
you're saying is
Wow.
like it's
Yeah, you could run at the wall and not get there for a couple seconds.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Much bigger than I had in mind. Cool.
It's very, very large.
All right. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to pursue this on foot. I'm with you.
Alrighty. And that's what everyone's doing?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds
So,
good.
You guys do. You proceed at a brisk pace, I'm assuming.
Brisk-ish. I still have my
Brisk-ish.
weapon drawn.
All right.
Yeah. Same.
Very
It might
good.
just be the
Hey.
carts moving on their own.
Missed opportunity to ride in a cart.
You can ride the cart on the way back. How does that sound?
It may
All
not
right.
be a bad idea to have somebody at the entrance since there is a turnaround. We may want to have like a checkpoint system. What do you guys think?
I mean, it's not a bad idea. I don't mind waiting since we already know what's here at the moment.
A whole lot of nothing.
The metal noise appears to have started again. Louder, of course, because you've advanced toward where it was coming from than it was a moment ago, but nothing like a cacophony.
Yeah.
Is it advancing toward us or away from us?
It is advancing toward
Louder.
you.
Okay. Gun is out.
Yeah, this may be a good opportunity if that's coming towards us. We may want to just get in good positions back in the other room just in case there's anything coming with what's probably the dolly.
Okay.
Being in this tunnel, if whatever it is, we're not in the most advantageous position here.
The noise is getting louder.
Let's head
Yeah,
back.
Okay.
Alana
Come on,
moves
guys.
back.
Let's get in positions. Guys, get behind that really thick metal. Bring in that sniper, bro.
Alright.
I don't have a gun, so I'm just gonna hang out at the back and sort of Ides march on you. Just yeah.
All right.
I toss
So-
him a set of brass knuckles.
Yes.
You're in defensive positions here?
Yep.
Linebackers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And as you wait, I take it you're waiting for potentially the cart to approach, the dolly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You do. The noise is getting louder. The noise is getting louder. Let's get a perception check from each of you, please.
87.
35.
What is it?
35.
35.
54.
54.
43.
17.
05.
Wow. Okay. Well, what we can see is that Baxter, perhaps like a meerkat, I don't want to put words or actions in your mouth, spots right away that something is visible. It's coming through that kind of, we'll just say, light fog, almost like a light smoke, almost like a steam. It's very, very faint, but it appears to be the track. It appears to be on the track. In fact, it seems like it's Trolley 1, the first dolly, on its way back to you. But it doesn't have the actual standing platform on it. It's just the rigging attached to the first rail, scooting back on its own toward the front.
Sad thing.
Kill
And
it!
it's moving
I throw a
toward
grenade.
the door. You're gonna throw a grenade?
No, not.
We can start rolling.
Initiative.
Okay, so that's what you see, and it kind of barrels past you and makes its way to the door, and then sits there for a time.
I'm gonna let everyone know what I saw
Yes.
if they
well,
didn't.
Yes. They saw it eventually, but you definitely saw it the best. Saw it first. If anybody's measuring.
Well,
Trolley, you're under arrest.
now we can have a race, guys.
Who wants to surf this one?
I absolutely am gonna fucking surf this trolley. What are you talking about?
Shit.
Okay.
How many people could a trolley fit?
All of you.
One could fit
Oh,
all of us?
well.
Okay.
Can we ride trolley one if it's missing most of its stuff?
It depends on your. I would say you'd probably need to be trained in athletics.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the
not
use of the
happening.
trolley 2 going down the cart pathway? Is it blocked by debris?
Not if you move it.
Yeah, we may want to
Wait,
stop this automated one.
Would my
Maybe we should-
aerobatics work in this situation?
It would.
The
You
surf
wanted to
trolley?
ride number 1, yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna go for number 1?
I think
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page. We want to do a trolley race. I understand. Cool. Also, bonus, we get to figure out what those what's going on in those other stops.
There's 4 of them, right? 4 total stops?
There are 4 total. There's the first at the front, stop number 2, pretty deep from the actual entrance, about 200 meters, and then about 50, then about 50, and then the final stop, 50.
Also, where the fuck did the rest of this trolley go? Like, I
Something-
ask the group.
Can I take a look at it to see if
Yeah.
it's missing stuff like the primitive excavation trolley?
You're gonna have to run up to the front of the chasm. I say chasm. It's just a big ass tunnel you're in.
Yeah, I rolled a 68, so I don't know if Alana's gonna be seeing anything.
Can I turn the automation off?
Can you turn the automation off? Go ahead and give me a tech roll.
33.
There appears to be a master off switch for power to this tunnel.
Oh
It's
god.
not something that has a specified off switch, at least not from where you're at on trolley 2.
Yeah, Pedal's gonna be like, I would turn it off to keep it from just trundling back that way, however long it's gonna take, but that shuts down all of the power in this whole thing, so I'm just gonna...
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So, is that what I'm to understand then? Elena's gonna go to the little rigging at the front,
Yeah, she wants to take a look at it.
and is Gaius gonna go try and surf it?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys head up to the mouth, and you're there. It's still chilling. And give me a perception check from the 2 of you. Is anybody joining them, by the way?
Nope.
I'll
Oh, that's
surf it.
way better. 36.
I'm gonna
Okay.
start just kicking rubble out of the way of trolley 2. I'm probably
Yeah.
not gonna activate it in time, but just that's my next goal.
Alrighty.
I can help you with that.
You can see. I think that's going to be, yeah. So you guys are able to clear it, and it'll be clear by the time they're doing whatever they're doing. Just say it, whatever that time takes. You'll be clear. If you're both working at it, you'll be good. The
Cool. Let's do it.
trolley 1 mechanism that's gripping the rail, it is still stationary up at the mouth, and as you get up there, you can see that there's a terminal specifically on you had recognized the first terminal, especially Elena, who had been screwing around with the one up above. You would see that terminal was off to the side, controlling things like the bulkhead, a lot of the primary functions that you're now intimately familiar with. And then the other side, you can see there's actually a kind of a dolly control that really regulates the power of these. Talks about destinations in slight detail. There's a manifest import-export kind of a thing.
I
Not
wanna
a
look at that.
lot. Okay, there's
What
not
is
a
it
lot
importing
more.
and exporting?
Well, let's finish here real quick.
Okay.
So
Do
before,
I need to do an agility roll for the surfing?
as soon as it starts to go.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and start situating your feet on it, you can prepare yourself for that. It's about half a meter across. Again, it's got like a C-clamp position on the actual physical rail. and there's some rigging that appears to have been wrenched off very, very, very violently. You can see scorch marks where settling torches, or maybe it's a flamer, could be it's a plasma burn. It's really hard to tell, but something has scorched through and torn off the platform that appears to be missing. Still though, you can find footholds if you'd like to stand on this. And that's something that you can do. If you'd like to take a kind of acrobatic position on that and wait.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And so you do that, and Elena's going to dig into the terminal, correct?
Yes, I want to take a look at it.
I need a tech roll from you, please.
Okay. Come on, dice. 26.
26. You can see a pretty obvious power on, power off, power minimal, shift power from one to the other kind of a scenario. You can see that you can change the priority of power in this excavation. You can see that there are effectively 4, think of them as bricks, if you're thinking about this, and you can change where the priority is with emergency power. And you can't see a lot of the detail for what each one is, but effectively you have lighting, you have air filtration, you have cart systems, and then some other thing you're not 100% sure about. It seems to be malfunctioning, corrupted perhaps. And
Okay, but I can't read whatever that is.
it's not really easy to see. The next thing you can see in here, I mentioned a manifest. It's not complete. There appear to be garbled entries. The time and goo passing over this, just, again, the goo here in this case is water that's come down. When all that water came down so long ago, it had the potential to fry some of the circuitry here. It appears that for the most part this is okay, but you can see some of the manifests. A lot of it is pretty mundane. Injury reports, you can see things like some people were injured. They had powerlifting machinery down here that was destroyed when they were trying to avoid using laser cutters. They tried to actually burrow in. Effectively, it kind of modified power armor. Really, really shitty, but not effective. And then they had to cart those out. It wasn't very good. They lost several very, very large drill bits, and effectively they hit something very, very, very stubborn at the end of this excavation that stopped them from continuing. And since they'd pulled most of the ore, they moved to a lower station.
Okay. So this tunnel leads to something that was too hard for them to cut through.
With a cost analysis, yes.
Okay.
It's something they could have cut through. But
yeah, but it wasn't worth the time.
they're like, nah, let's go get some other coal. Yeah.
Okay. So Ilana relays that to the group and kind of extrapolates that going down this probably isn't going to yield anything for what we were initially looking for, but it's probably good to check it out just to take notes on it and see if there's anything else down here.
So, sorry. The discussion in that was the information provided is that they tried a bunch of different stuff to try and get to the thing that they could cut through, but realized that the cost was worth. Why was the cart destroyed?
No records.
Well, we don't know why the cart was destroyed. It's got one thing that doesn't look like you can really read it. I can try to read it. Let me roll.
If I heard that right, it was just like the cart got all fucked up by like plasma and shit, theoretically, potentially.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Flamer,
It's a
plasma.
14. Floor dice.
You said 14?
Yeah.
You don't see any record of it. In fact, the cart thinking that it's not experiencing any kind of a malfunction suggests that nobody knows. At least nobody who's using this terminal has reported it. So the people who set it up weren't aware that this cart was having troubles.
Yeah, never reported that it's been torn apart. Okay, so Lana's looking at that, and she's just like, well, there's no reports on that, and this looks pretty crude. Well, Gallus, do you want to ride it down there, see what's down there?
Let's go.
I would say let's go, but be prepared just in case whatever fucked up the first cart tries to fuck up you.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Is there any history of like scavengers in the sublevels of any type? Do any of you guys know anything? Or would Fidus, I guess out of character, would Fidus know of anything like
My
that?
background is scavenging, but I believe the scavenger background is just for like the main areas of the hive, not necessarily the inner workings.
you
Yeah,
haven't heard
I meant
anything.
more of like if there's like a history of like
In fact,
survivors
like-
in the sublevel.
Rumors and myth.
Right.
there
What
really
about
aren't.
through Pure Underhive?
Pure Underhive?
Yeah.
Do you have Pure
Any
Underhive?
ne'er-do-wells? I do.
Okay. Give me a roll.
That's a 4.
4. So you know that there are those who claim to have been able to get their hands on real old tech. The kind of old that when presented with it, they're like, that's a fake. And nobody really does anything. In fact, as far as anybody can tell, with such lucrative gains to be had by actually selling something from the old world, so to speak, of course somebody has tried to fake things. But it's hard to know if the claims were ever supported by fact.
Gotcha.
So Petal sort of realized, like, yeah, there are people who claim that they found old world, like, terror tech, but who would joke
The odds of,
about that?
Like a group of people being down here that have just scavenged this thing for parts is highly unlikely, right?
Yeah, that would never happen. No.
Seems
That makes me
Difficult.
definitely think that it might.
Petal winks and audibly says, wink.
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 I feel like that would be our biggest fear. I don't know if letting Gaius do it alone is a good idea. Maybe if we like hold each other really close, Gaius, we can like surf together.
Oh no, twist my arm. I have to ride in a cart. Oh, how tragic.
So wait, are you guys gonna ride on the trolley, or the dolly, or are you guys gonna surf it like D-Bag?
I'm not
I'm
surfing.
gonna ride
like
on the
that.
trolley
Yeah,
like a
let's,
normal person.
Yeah,
I just wanted to give Gaius a hug. That's it.
Aw,
Aw,
I
cute.
accept this hug.
So just to make sure we have, okay, so we have Fidus, we have Gaius, and then did I hear that Petal also, you guys are gonna surf it together?
God, that's so stupid.
No,
What is-
I'm
what
gonna
is
take
my
the trolley. I'm
agility?
gonna hop on the trolley. I'm not surfing that thing.
My agility's very high. You know what? I'm surfing it, but I'm
Here we
putting
go.
Gaius in front of me.
Oh, okay. Okay, so is it just two of you, or did Fidus, how we sitting on that?
No. He bluffs it and kind of just gives him a little hug if he allows it, and then he's like, this just. No, I'm getting in the trolley. Sorry.
Okay, so he's gonna go with the dolly. Okay. So all right, so we have two people who are gonna surf it, and Alana, you're at the controls.
Yeah, I'm not going to surf it, but I can just tell it to go
Right.
home, right? Back down.
Yeah. Where are you gonna tell it to go?
Well, stop 2 isn't too far away. Do you want 3 or 4? Should we just go to the end? Work our way back?
I think one at a time seems a little safer. We're going pretty far, And if there is something
Alright.
down there,
Stop
I
one.
might pace it.
Stop 2 it is. And then she plugs that in.
Okay. So, stop 2, and you guys lurch forward very, 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 very quickly. The speed is... Well, there's a reason there are handholds on the other dolly. Let's get an acrobatics test from the both of you.
I'm scum. I'm gonna do great, I say before rolling the dice.
7.
15!
Nice.
16?
Oh my God.
Nice.
You take a
Yes!
hunkered position and you just nail it. You shoot off like a bullet, the both of you. Absolutely making it look good. You take off.
Alana's just like,
like
wasn't
a
that just
bullet.
nice? As they speed away.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are on your way. The rest
just
of
hear
you,
Petal's distant cackling.
are you going to collect and then hop onto the little lift there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you do, but our team in the front is going to arrive at stop 2 first. So, you do. You actually come to a slowed, it isn't an immediate lurch, but you come to a stop. And it's a little janky, but, you know, you quite the athletes. You come to a stop, and you roll perception.
62.
25.
Okay. So, you can see, again, everything pretty well lit, that the crates that were just out of sight were actually just here at what appears to be a loading-unloading platform. There are small machines here that appear to have been used like forklifts, some kind of an anti-gravity device that would lift, move, and then come back on command into what appears to be a small structure. It doesn't have a roof on it, but it has like a barrier with terminals at chest height, and debris has covered most of it. Doesn't seem as though this has fared very well. There's just not a lot here. Some of it's debris, but it almost looks like people have pulled parts off of just about everything with electronics here and rendered anything that could move here useless.
Weird.
So about them scavengers, huh? Petal, huh?
Hey, look, okay, what? It's fine. It's fine. Nobody's using it.
It's fine right now.
It's
About 5 minutes
totally.
later, the Dolly 2 arrives.
I mean, we all know that there are going to be scavengers scavenging for parts in areas that people haven't touched. Like, who does that? Wink.
Can you imagine the type of person or people that are living down here? I mean,
Isn't
assuming that they are.
isn't Fidus scum?
What did you call me? Yeah. I'm pretty scummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's crazy.
what's your
I don't know
point?
Yeah,
What are
I
you
don't know
trying to say?
I don't know what kind of person would like be in the Hive City and just scrounge for parts and then pretty them up or resell them or like find what's useful. That's weird.
Hey,
Isn't that
look,
weird?
Look at this badge. I'm good now. I'm clean. I've cleaned up. I've done nothing wrong in months. Okay.
Wow.
So
That seems pretty pointed. Or you wanna you wanna talk about it? You wanna share? What'd you do? Did you steal from somebody? Do you get a little sweaty under the armpits anytime you see all these fancy people walking around with all their jewelry they don't give a shit about?
tell you what, we survived this. I'll tell you it all.
That's wild. I've never done anything like money laundering in my life. I love stories and hypotheticals.
I've got a few.
So,
I'm gonna scrounge in this shit now.
Charlie 2 arrives. The group is together. And there are metal crates that do appear to be reinforced. On the edges, there's some kind of it looks different than the rest of the metal, stronger, something much, much sturdier. While there are dents in the body of the metal, almost as if they've been struck over and over, especially around the openings, these corner pieces and side edge reinforcements don't appear to have weathered any worse for the wear. But there are about 6 of them stacked up on either side of the tracks.
Petal just glances over at him and is like, amateurs. Fucking amateurs.
Are you
Find anything interesting?
guys going to
crates are
be investigating the
unopened?
terminals, the lifter, the crates?
Definitely the crates in the terminal.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely interested in those crates.
I'm gonna. I don't know if we can do this in Dark Heresy, but I'm gonna try. Is there any way I could like check the crates and specifically for like traps to make sure nobody was trying to get into them and says, "Well, if I can't have them, you can't," sort of situation?
Sure, give me a perception check.
That's an 8.
There are no traps.
Are there any like catches, seals, anything that reads sort of like
There are no
only
warning
open under
labels.
certain
There's no
keys?
identifying information, at least none visible. There appears to have been a barcode, some kind, but it's just been beaten to shit. There is a seal, and it does appear to be pressurized.
Interesting.
Oh,
Can I knock on it?
Yeah.
can we check the
See if it
terminal and
sounds
make
hollow.
sure? Can we check the terminal to make sure the stuff that they needed to activate around here didn't need to be pressurized? Because why would this be under pressure?
Well, yeah, you can check the terminal. Again, it's been pretty well beaten up. Your previous roll for perception, we're going to go ahead and include that here. With an incredible roll like that, you feel very confident knowing that these just aren't going to have information. You do also see that while there is rubble here, it isn't completely covering what appears to be some kind of manual override for the carts. It's almost like a big switch that you're able to move, like a gear shifter in a car. You're able to move. You see the 2 tracks. There's a gear shift on one side and a gear shift on the other. You can move effectively the cart forward or backward even without what appears to be the electrical interface.
Oh, fun.
once Petal just sort of like jerks the car forward and back.
Like, lit.
So that's going to
Did
be
you guys
which
feel
one of
that?
those?
What was that?
The one that Gaius is on.
Oh. Okay. So give me an acrobatics roll, Gaius.
58.
58?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's a failure.
Yeah, you're
Agility's
lurched.
44.
It kicks out from underneath you because you're not expecting this manual override to exist. And it jolts off toward the kind of hazy distance toward the next stop.
I found an override.
I see that you found the override. Bumbling idiot.
I don't know. I think I'm very intelligent.
Well, all right.
I just give him this stern look.
I just
As you
wait.
shoot off into the sunset?
No, he was flung off of
No, he fell.
the ground
Okay,
mechanism.
and the cart went away.
cart's
Got
gone.
it.
Yeah.
I thought the cart went with him.
No. And
Yeah, I got no info. There's the manual override for the carts, and it looks like this stuff over here doesn't really have any latches that I could see, or yeah, they're just fun boxes.
Who doesn't love a box?
well, is anybody else doing anything here?
Vitus is just kind of keeping an eye and ear out all around.
Oh, and
Can I try to open? Wait, the crates are pressurized, aren't they?
They are pressurized, and
Yeah.
also it was actually Pistol who was looking to knock on them. Knocks
Yes,
don't
I just
seem
wanted
to
to see if
reveal
it-
much. They don't
Okay.
seem to be completely empty. They're about 1 meter square,
Oh, okay.
and there's no
Cool,
give
cool.
to it when you knock, so it doesn't like rock back and forth with the force of a knock. They're not hollow.
Gotcha.
Is there a way to depressurize them?
Not on the outside, not visibly.
Okay. I think we should probably leave them for now.
Okay.
Can't imagine it's much more than rocks.
But what if they're cool rocks?
Well, we can take a look at them later, can't we? And then Alana gets back on the little cart and programs it for stop 3.
And you guys are all joining. Some staying behind.
Eat.
Petal is now joining in the actual cart.
The
Yep,
actual-
same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all board up, and we have stop 3 in mind. Is that right?
Yes,
Yikes.
indeed.
Okay. So you kick it off, and
Weapons
again
drawn, guys. Let's be careful.
we have the haze that you can't see 50 feet down or 50 meters down. So it's a little hazier here than it was. But you move, and as you do, you can see the kind of tendrils of the haze kind of whipped into a light swirl behind you. Almost pretty. But the cart goes, and it goes, and you can see that it's well lit, but stop 2 is quite hazy, actually. It's like a fog, really. But it doesn't sit well, but there's no odor to it. Nothing that jumps out without a perception check.
Ba-ba-ba.
Oh my god, I'm amazing. Sorry, I'm just doing great.
Yikes, 93.
33.
93?
63.
63?
Mhm.
And what was
79.
79?
53.
53?
Mine
Almost-
was 33.
33? And
I
then
can see through space and time. I got a
what was
2.
yours? A 2?
A 2.
Guys.
Hell yeah. What'd you get, Fidus?
63.
63, okay. So, there's not a lot to see here, even for Time Lords. In fact, this area doesn't even have any interesting crates. You can see, though, that there is some kind of an obstruction on track 1, where the cart, the little piece that you had been surfing on before, the rail is bent. It's been bent in such a way that it looks like an immense amount of force was applied on one side of what used to be the platform, and it's actually not pulled up but started to really leverage that rail underneath. So it's kind of up against that, spinning its gears, and the person who heard it the longest, the person who heard it first, Fidus, is going to recognize this as the noise that was heard initially when you emerged from the draining pipes. The kind of wheels spinning out here are what was being heard. It isn't much more notable than that. You have a station that, again, scoured. It appears to have been... There's no rubble here this time. This appears to be the work of people who've pulled electronics out, metal away. And that's just about what you see here. There are score marks on the walls. For specifically Petal, you do see that near to the terminal areas, there are laser weapon marks where people have used las weapons to effectively cut through panels. And it's pretty specific to laser weapons. You're able to actually identify the scorch marks as those consistent with laser weapon.
Hey,
But no,
Stormtroopers are this accurate.
but no weapons to be found here. It's just I noticed that. Wait, so they were las weapons that are used in my brain to cut through panels.
Yes.
Does that coincide with the information that Alana had previously about them, like trying to bring in excavating equipment?
That does not.
Or with that? Ooh, okay.
No, this is kind of like.
So just to confirm,
Pretty
it's like
crude.
these are like las blades and not like las bullets functionally.
Oh no, they were bullets. Somebody was shooting
Ah.
this effectively. You can think of it like if we were to compare it to like our doors. Somebody was using a laser weapon to shoot the latch and the hinges to pull a panel off.
Interesting. Yep. Petal relays that information.
It's like, yeah. Las weapons were used to crack these open.
Oh, good.
And they've
It's
otherwise.
similar to like what that other dolly looked like.
The other dolly is right in front of you, and it's just kind of spinning out because it's not allowed to progress any further because the rail it's sitting on has been bent. And the
Yeah, wasn't it kind of fucked up?
talk about the actual little stop station area. That area was
No,
pretty
the dolly
fucked up.
itself. The one that's been cannibalized.
Right, dolly one. That one
Yeah.
is stopped in front of you, spinning out. Very, very. Oh, you were talking about how the pattern that was used. Again, very crude. The same level of, I would say, force probably could be
Okay.
thought of as applied here, but a little less of that force was necessary for a door or a panel.
I'm gonna take your shit. I'm gonna take your cart too.
Okay. Anybody looking to do anything else here?
Nothing we can do to unbend the rail. I assume not, because it's a rail.
Not really. Yeah. Not much more
Okay.
here.
Stop 4.
Well,
Okay.
Same. Let's go.
Petal ducks down even further into the car.
Well, okay. So what you do is you all jump onto the tram and you head toward stop 4. You're moving a little bit into the thicker haze, and everybody roll perception, please.
31.
55.
69.
Nice.
19.
19. And then Baxter
46.
and Pistol.
14.
What was it?
14.
14. Hell yeah. So, you guys are all noticing there's no odor to the haze. All just kind of hazy.
Is there, may I ask, is there like a noticeable current to it?
Not really.
Like, is it
No,
moving in
kinda
a
just
particular?
ambient.
No.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is it's ambient, and what isn't immediately apparent is that, well, we'll continue. As you continue down the track to your final destination, you can see that a lot of the ground around is fractured. There are fractures in it. You can see that up the walls there are fractures, and there are no bulkheads that have been placed here. There's no support struts that have been placed to keep that from spreading, which might lead you to believe that it wasn't the people who dug this who noticed those fractures first. They probably would have stopped that shit. But there's nothing there. You're continuing, and you can see the fractures actually open up to be kind of holes, more or less. Large fractures as you continue toward the final bit of your stop, to a point where the rail is sometimes suspended over large gaps, which appears to be where, as you pass over them, where this smoke, this haze is coming out of. It's just a kind of thick, light, odorless, billowing fog. Smoke. Hard to say, really, but it's just kind of brushing past you and it's permeating through the grate that makes up what you're standing on. You can see that the first rail is not even over solid ground as you approach stop 4. It is a rail suspended. The entire side of the chasm has given way and fallen out beneath. It's an open maw with haze-like smoke lightly wafting out of it. Your side does appear to have an actual exit platform, but it doesn't look great. It's rocky, so to speak. Still well lit. You just can't see through the smoke.
Okay, has our cart stopped?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm just dealing with the existential horror of a cart floating over a fucking gaping hole. Like this is some goddamn Tomb Runner or Crash Bandicoot level. I hate this shit. Ugh.
Can I get off the cart without falling into the hole? That'd be cool.
You can roll an athletics check for me.
Are we like directly over the hole, or is there a platform to get off on?
There is a platform. It's a grate, and it does appear to be anchored to stone, but there are holes visible just beyond.
Okay, I'm gonna very carefully disembark onto the grate.
Okay. Athletic check, please. This is going to be uneven ground that is not susceptible to your hive
28.
ability. 28. Okay. You notice it's quite firm. This doesn't appear to be buckling under your weight.
I'll get off the trolley too.
Okay. Athletics check.
25.
25. And with the addition of a second person, Sarah, I need your athletic check as well.
60.
60. Okay. You notice that there's a small lurch in the grating you're standing on, but you're able to recover.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we
I'm
space
gonna
this out a
convey
little
that
bit.
to the rest of the group that this does not feel very stable.
Oh, I hate this.
I'm
There
gonna
is
stay on the.
a light
on the
smoke. Okay.
Are there any? I'd like to ask Vitus. Are there any thermal readings? Like any, like obvious place where maybe smoke is coming from that you can see with your goggles?
Let me see here. 21.
21. While
What do I see?
not within the 40 meters, it is very apparent that an enormous heat symbol, some kind of a heat resonance, is well below you. You can't see with definition because it's outside of that 40 meters, but there's an enormous heat signature making this smoke. You also can see, if you wish to, the light thermal hum, although the ambient temperature of the room is a little higher, but you can see the light thermal hum of what does appear to be a functioning terminal still lit further on the platform.
Don't go down, and maybe one at a time. Somebody that's good with the tech can go check out that terminal right over there. But beyond that, it's hot, it's warm.
All right.
Full.
I want to look around very, very carefully.
Okay. Are you looking for something beyond?
I want to do a search. I just want to see if there's anything here that looks interesting.
Okay, go ahead. Perception.
Searching. And I got some search in me. 38.
38. You can see the terminal that Vitus relayed to you, at least mentioned. You can see where that is, and you can see that same chest height level kind of a structure, almost like a workbench, almost like a desk, really, is present. And as you approach, you're seeing what appears to be, and actually, why don't we get a search as well from Gaius?
All right, what do I need to roll?
You're just going to roll perception.
18.
18. Hell yeah. So, you guys notice that what appears to be a charred human skeleton is stuck rigid in a position, reaching out for the panels that were removed in previous instances. This individual, it's really hard to make out. Do either of you have a chemistry advancement?
Mm-mm.
I've got Medicae and
Roll a Medicaid test.
I can roll intelligence for all my investigation checks.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's combine those. Let's get you to roll better than a 40.
Okay. Come on, dice. Eh. Oh, that's a 5.
A 5. Well, that's better than 40. So, you are able to tell that the burns and the scorches that seem to be radiating from here appear to be from some kind of mine. Could be it's a charge of some kind used for excavation, maybe. Could be a military mine. Some kind of an explosive device was attempted to be used here, and a horrible, horrible mistake happened. The reason you know it's a mine is the explosion is very directional. It's a charge or a mine because it has a very, very pointed direction. It's got a distinct funnel where you can see the similar scorch and chemical marks on the wall behind, consistent with that cone. Nothing else seems to be shape charge. Nothing else seems to be damaged or destroyed by this. It was very distinct. Whatever it was, it really got whoever was here.
Well, this man's met a bad end. Which kind of pokes him
You
with the
also
metal.
are able to see that it could be, judging by this is the place with the most damage and where the fractures seem to originate from, this event, this charge going off, may have been what caused the collapse and the openings that you've seen here.
Dumbass.
Okay.
Fucked up his stealing roll.
Yeah, or he was a miner and just like janked it. I'm not quite sure when this happened, but it looks like the destruction posed to this man was probably his or someone very close to him's fault. It's the reason all these holes are here. It's a charge of
Ooh, idiot.
Brutal.
Can we make it to the data pad?
Can you make it to the data pad? Let's do that. But everybody, let's roll perception.
Perception. I percept a 72.
72.
31.
31.
24.
66.
63.
And then Baxter?
30.
13. Baxter.
30.
Oh, I'm sorry, 30. 30.
30.
Okay.
0.
Sorry.
Well, okay, I already said it, so I guess Baxter. And who rolled the best? Was that Ladoa?
Yeah,
I
I got
had-
24. Yeah.
24. And what was yours, D-Back?
31.
31. Did anybody roll better than 24?
I didn't.
I don't think so.
Okay, so
No.
you guys among the group kind of notice at first it's like a staticky buildup. It's kind of the sound. If you guys ever hung around cathode ray TVs, the big square ones with the glass, whenever they were on and the TV was dim, you could kind of pick up on it's like a noise that you couldn't quite pin down, but it was ever present. This
The
is
one
what
that
starts-
just it makes when it's on.
Yeah. It starts to build and build and build. And these two among you are able to hear it.
You guys hear that static?
Nope.
Can we tell where it's coming from?
Yeah. But you were going to use the terminal?
Yeah, I'd like to.
All right. So, go ahead and give me a tech check, please.
Okay. Can I tech? Can I check? Can I roll a 5? Yes.
You rolled a 5.
Alana's doing pretty good for herself when it doesn't come to perception.
Hell yeah, that's good. I mean, it's damn good. So, you roll a 5. And you can see that most of the control here has been removed, actually deleted.
Ooh.
Oh. And you can see that somebody has actually come in and taken the information from this terminal.
Oh, a cover-up.
Dare they?
Okay. Okay.
There's really not much else here. It seems somebody has actually come in and scrubbed and withdrawn information.
My best guess would be that they're trying to cover up whatever it is that they fucked up.
Yeah, that's
So I'm gonna
the tracks.
leave that thing alone unless it wants to tell me any other cool information.
Nothing really here. And you rolled damn well.
Okay, so I don't think there's much more here to be found.
What's
Seems
the
to
move?
be a tragic accident.
Does Fidus still hear the static?
Yeah, in fact, I was going to get to the point here where it seems to be building for both Fidus and Baxter.
I think we should scram, guys. I don't know if you can hear it yet, but if we've got what we need, we should probably head back. This is not
Oh,
a good situation
no.
for us to be in.
Twist my arm. I have
Let's
to get
move.
away from all the gaping holes and smoke.
I know how much
Yeah.
you love gaping holes, Petal, but now's not the time, okay?
Too.
Okay. You guys load up.
Okay.
I need D-Beck and Sarah to roll athletic checks as they make their way back to the cart.
Oh my god, 51.
51.
29.
29. So, being the closest to the cart, we see that Gaius is able to artfully leap his way to the cart, and the ground starts to shift away, though, from Lana, who is experiencing the oddest feeling. She actually feels the ground move, shift out from underneath her, very,
Catch her.
very, very quickly.
Trying to catch
You have two choices. You can either roll an athletics check,
Uh-huh.
or you can go backward.
Can I use my grappling hook?
You can do that as well.
her.
I'm gonna use my grappling hook.
Where are you grappling?
Nice.
Grapple the cart.
You gonna grapple the cart?
Yes.
God.
Okay. I need.
Jet ski behind it.
Oh, that's a 93.
You got a 93?
Oh no.
Okay. You whiff it entirely. You actually latch on to the second rail. And because you didn't go backward, the stone underneath you is starting to crumble. The static in the room, audible by two people, is reaching an almost overwhelming sensation for the two of you. Nobody else can hear it. And the floor gives way. You begin to Tarzan fall with the gravel, but you, with your special hook, you're actually brought to a pendulum motion, through the fog that you can't see beneath you. The large chunks of stone that held up the terminal slide off of the wall into the fog, leaving that same swirling pattern you saw behind you as the cart moved through. The fog, still completely blocking view, you can, after a few seconds, hear the stone hit a hard surface below. However, we have Alana dangling on a slowing angle, getting more and more narrow as she begins to straighten out on this, suspending from rail 1.
Rail 2, I think.
I was mistaken. You're on rail 1. They're on rail 2.
Rail 1. Okay. I am holding on for dear life.
Fuck.
Can my grapple raise me up?
Yeah,
I begin to slowly ascend.
and it is slow, but you do ascend.
Yeah.
You're able to bring yourself to
Squeaky, squeaky,
rail
squeaky.
1.
Squeaky,
Anybody else going to
squeaky.
be doing anything?
How far of a distance is the other rail?
Yeah.
The rail is about 4 meters, and it should be noted that if Baxter or Fidus want to do anything, they have to do so at disadvantage. The static is becoming unbearable.
What's going on? What? Can somebody get her? What? Can you hear that?
No.
No.
I can't hear anything that you're hearing. But
What do you? It's so loud though.
Maybe you want some gum? A hard candy? Probably pop your ears.
Come. What are you talking about?
I'll take some gum.
Here you go. I have
What?
extra.
I'm gonna put my wizard hat on to try to drown the noise out.
Okay.
Alana, are you good? Because, I don't know if I could jump, 12 meters.
yeah.
I'm ascending!
Okay.
You're kind
Okay.
of coming up, and you're able to get to the rail. You can use a strength check to pull yourself up.
Oh man, I'm gonna try. 44, my strength is 30.
You succeed. It's your own body weight. You're not doing something overwhelming. You have adrenaline pumping. You can pull yourself up onto this rail. But
I kiss my grapple hook.
you're just kind of standing there. And, like popping your ears, the static sensation gives way. And it's kind of relinquished for our two, we'll say, observant, suffering team members. They hear this kind of crackling that kind of replaces it. And then you all hear an overwhelming pop, like a light bulb going out. It's astonishingly loud. No one's injured by the sound, but it is ever present, with the echoes kind of repeating it for a moment. All the lights seem to shut off furthest from you, back to you. You can see the emergency lights kicking on overhead.
Fuck.
There's slight red light trying to peer down in beams and faint red god rays through the ever-present kind of raising smoke, but it's very difficult to see. Any attempts to use white light are going to be occluded by the smoke. It will not be very effective.
Okay. Go ahead.
It seems, Petal, that your gum sort of helped.
Yeah.
Never
great
underestimate the power of snacks.
True. Is there a point where the two rails seem to get any closer to one another, or have something connecting in between them, or is she just kind of floating in space somewhere?
She's
on
floating
the rail.
She's standing on a rail that's suspended over chasm, effectively.
How wide is the rail?
4 meters. Well, the rail itself is about half a meter. The gap between them is about 4 meters.
Oh.
Can I,
I thought it was 12.
very carefully
12 feet,
scooch
4
along
meters.
the rail to solid ground?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, I'm going to very, very carefully scooch along the rail until I reach solid ground.
Okay. And
Is there
anyone-
solid ground ahead of us that will connect the two rails in a way?
Yeah, effectively the floor you came from.
Okay.
Yeah, they run parallel to each other, so if I can get on solid ground, I can meet you guys at like the third one and then get back on.
Okay.
Are these still going to run with the emergency lights on? I know that there was a manual thing that says that they will run without like the main technology, but there's nothing we need to do to make that happen, right?
Not at the moment, but there is a chance to reprioritize what receives power under emergency conditions once you get to the mouth of this.
Okay, Alana calls over. I'm going to very carefully scooch along this rail. Meet me at stop 3. And then she very, very gently, with her grappling hook, begins to scoot her way along the rail. She's like hunkered down and using all fours.
Give me one athletics check for the whole thing, and because you're so hunkered, it's not going to be
70?
70. That's fine.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm assuming you're on your belly, just like...
Yeah, I've like reattached the grappling hook to my belt, and I am holding on like it's a child's jungle gym.
We just needed to make sure you
my
didn't
way to
whiff it.
victory.
That's all.
Oh.
You're okay. So, you do, the rest of the gang, what are we doing?
Okay, see you there. Bye. Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that popping? Did you guys hear that? Like the
No.
static and then the
No.
pop.
No, I think we did hear the pop. We just
Yeah,
didn't hear the.
I do
Static.
believe it was the gum.
Damn.
Gum?
Good gum.
I thought you.
Poured
that-
it.
that's not what I thought you said. That's weird. Is there any sort of like an intelligence check that I could take for like what would cause a sensation like that?
You could, yeah, give me one.
Somebody EMP'd your ass.
Right? 50.
50. There's nothing that you're aware of. You just know that in your time as an Arbite, if there was an investigation that needed to be made, there were conditions that you needed to call the Mechanicum for, and this is one of those things that if you had somebody who knew their way around it, you would have called them. Because it's not something that the fleshies deal with. So I guess what I'm
Weird.
saying is, you know enough to know it's outside of your standard wheelhouse.
Let's get out of here. It's still kind of giving me a headache.
Okay, so you guys are progressing back to stop 3,
Correct.
Yes.
We're gonna
Okay.
pick up Alana and get the fuck out of here.
and Alana, you're heading back.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll say that over the course of probably about 20 minutes, you guys are able to meet up. You do at stop 3, and lots of back patting, I'm sure. Anything else you want to take care of before we move on?
I would like to leave this pipe.
Well, you're not in the pipe, remember? You're actually in the actual excavation.
The
tunnels now.
excavation tunnels. I would like to leave them.
Are you going back into the pipe, or are you going to the mouth of the excavation?
Because there was the other door we didn't check.
Well, that would have been up into the pipe and up a little
That's
bit.
up a floor.
No, the mouth of the excavation had 2 doors, didn't it? We went into the one that was the first excavation.
So you had that door. You had a north and a south exit from the pipe. Your
Yeah.
perception checks were passable enough to know these were just 2 exits out of the same pipe into the same chasm.
Okay. So I would like to go back to the pipe.
We have 1 vote for pipe.
Pipe.
Yep.
Wasn't there a bulkhead or something? Or am I?
There are bulkheads all over here, so we have them at the major entrance of effectively what is the lift, the great lift entrance, which is the big bulkheads right at the actual opening of this excavation. That's effectively the door that opens and closes to the great lift that has access to it. And you're in what is effectively a drainage pipe. That's how you got down to this floor, bypassing the flooded floor 4.
Okay.
There's also crates that you guys were interested in.
Also the crates.
We can't get them open, and
Yeah.
if I remember, they're very heavy. So it's like
They're pretty heavy.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
Okay.
because
Well,
there's
pipe-
no notable catches or seals, and all of the information that we could get it from barcodes has been fucked up beyond all comprehension.
Yeah.
I think I'm good to continue descending down.
Just saying.
Okay, so back to
I mean,
the
you
pipe
could
then.
have if you just jumped in that gaping hole.
Yeah, there's a big way down very quickly there.
Ilana doesn't really want to do that because she doesn't have a good way back up.
Grappling
Yeah.
hook, though. What do you mean?
She's a very cautious individual.
Maybe it's nice down there.
Warm at least.
Well, if you think it might be nice, you can test it out for yourself.
Hmm.
A hole
Well-
in your
Don't
hat.
tempt me.
So you guys all head back to the drainage tunnel, right?
Right.
Okay. You do. You're in there and you are in the tunnel. Did you say you wanted to head back toward the floor above, kind of the last stop? Or you guys wanted to go down?
The smaller pipe? I feel
Yeah,
like we should
smaller.
investigate that smaller one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that sounds
We
good.
can check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, remember in here, the emergency lighting was already lit. This isn't a shock or a change. It's where it was already under emergency lighting. Alrighty. Well, great. You head into the pipe and you can see it. It's not even terribly far above you. It's just above and in another juncture. You can make your way that way and we'll check that out next time we're in the present. Because that's where we're gonna put a pin in it tonight. In fact, it went over. I hope everybody's okay with that. But,
It's all right. It's a good one.
yeah. Well, there we go. So that was that session. We're gonna probably say goodbye to our live folks. Nice to see you.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, life, folks.
Green.
And I'm gonna jump over to the monitor screen's jack, or the studio screen is jacked, but we can at least go here. So later, like a scribe. Anywho, it was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for
Comment.
joining us live. And if you want to, we'll be doing it next week. However, though, I do want to say Sarah and I do have something on the books. First week of April, is that right?
Yes.
Something came up, and so we're going to be absent the first week of April. I hope everybody's okay with that. But we do
Actually,
have.
perfect. 'Cause I do too.
Well, all right. We probably won't even have that many sessions beyond that, so it might even be we're at a finale or something at that time. We'll have to see. But I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are too. To those who viewed, bye-bye. And to everybody else, I hope you had a good time too. Obviously, you're the ones playing. You're the ones so much more important. These weirdos who choose to watch this. Oh my god. Anyway.
They're crazy. You're crazy.